We've been listening to National Security Council spokesman John Kirby saying the White House is outraged by an Israeli airstrike that killed at least 7 aid workers who were trying to deliver food into Gaza. John Kirby confirming that one of those workers was a dual U.S. citizen, that they were in a safe zone, that with a vehicle marked as an aid truck at the time of this attack. He says this certainly isn't helping the crisis when it comes to delivering humanitarian aid in Gaza. Let's bring in our foreign correspondent, Britt Clement, who's been listening from Tel Aviv. Britt, what stood out to you from John Kirby's remarks and the reality that the U.S. says it's outraged by this attack on these aid workers?
Well, he was really facing a slew of tough questions from the press there, wasn't he? He reiterated the U.S. calls for an investigation and reiterated the need to do more to allow more humanitarian assistance, more desperately needed aid into the Gaza Strip. The White House, he said, conveyed their outrage, as you say, to the Israelis to take all measures to ensure that aid workers are safe. He said this has become a dangerous place for aid workers and that they need to be guaranteed a secure passage to deliver that aid. He said that in this case, they seem to have taken all measures possible to secure themselves, that the Israelis need to be held accountable here. He said he didn't want to comment on Netanyahu's remarks that this is something that happens in war, but he said that this is an issue that needs to be reflected on and worked on. And when asked where the U.S. red line is when it comes to the Israeli conduct in Gaza, he said that, you know, there is a viable war with Hamas and they do have the right to defend themselves, but that doesn't mean that they get a free pass. He said that in a person-to-person meeting with the Israelis in a week or so will probably take place to discuss the Rafah invasion and how to reduce civilian casualties there. He said, you know, do you want us to hang conditions on their neck and ensure that they take a targeted approach? This is something that he said is up for discussion. He will be continuing to press from the U.S. side to the Israelis to make sure that casualties like this, that incidents like this don't happen again.
Britt, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu originally said in response to questions about this attack, this is what happens in war. He's now dropped that reference in a new statement. What do you make of that removal of saying that this is what happens? What do you think is behind that change, Britt?
Well, look, I think, you know, people that I speak to in Australia who work in, you know, aid agency workers, it conveys a lack of sensitivity, they say. You know, to say this is something that just happens in war and that should be accepted seems like a cop-out for many, that the Israelis need to be held accountable here, that there needs to be transparency, and that there needs to be a thorough investigation into exactly what happened. If it is the case that they took all the precautions necessary, that they were well marked on their vehicle, that they were wearing their personal protection gear, that also had the charity's logo on, that they informed the IDF of their movements, why then did they come under attack by the IDF?
So many questions still there, and as John Kirby said, an investigation is underway. He said that should be resolved in a matter of days. Britt Clement, thank you so much for breaking this down for us.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.